Welcome to the Panasonic Studios at the Toronto International Film Festival. Now, Killer Joe is an interesting little crime drama about a small-time drug dealer who needs money, and he needs it right now. Unfortunately, the only way he can get that money is through an insurance policy, and unfortunately, his mother has to die before he can collect the cash. William Friedkin, the legendary director of The French Connection and The Exorcist, was behind the camera, and Tracy, who joins me today, was the screenplay writer. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is a movie that it struck me that it's about the polarity that's in everyone, the sort of the dichotomy that exists within everyone. Everyone has good and evil in them. Some people have a little bit more good than evil, other people. And I think that the character of Chris, he's someone who's let the good be squished down a little bit, and he's weak. Do you see him as evil, or do you see him as weak, or how do you see him?
Killer Joe has a pretty strong moral code, bent as it is. The others perhaps don't, or if they do, they can't quite grasp it. It's in the ether somehow. I think that's true for Chris.
Well, I think that's what I was getting at by the polarity of him, or the dichotomy of him. Because if he was just all evil, I guess villains are fun to watch, but you don't care about them.
Right.
You know?
I don't want to make films about people who are all good or all evil. You know, I believe, as you said, that it exists in all of us to one extent, one degree or another, and that it's a constant struggle within those of us who do have a certain morality to have our better angels triumph.
Is there a way for you to control that at all?
By making films about it.
Yeah.
If I wasn't making the kind of pictures I make, I'd probably be a serial killer.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, seriously.
No, I know exactly
You know.
what you mean. I feel like without that, I'd be up in the clock tower
Yeah.
first thing.
There's no question, because one way that you can rid yourself of these demons within us is by transforming them into fiction.
Well, one of the things that's so sparkling about this film is the dialogue. Dialogue has really stayed with me. That's yours. Tell me a little bit about creating believable, interesting dialogue.
Well, thank you for that. That's one of the benefits of making a film based on a play. Mm-hmm. You know, the history of Killer Joe for me is a 20-year history, living with this first as a play in its various incarnations, different productions, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of performances in which I had a chance to constantly tweak, develop, hone the material.
My payment is $25,000 in cash in advance, no exceptions.
25?
Yes, sir.
Thought you said 20.
I was told 20.
One of the things the actors responded to, I've heard them talking about it in other interviews, one of the things the actors responded to is that scenes were allowed to breathe. They had time to develop a scene, and that scenes had beginnings and middles and ends. I like that. I like watching two good actors in a room playing a scene of some length and some patience.
I was reading about one of the big summer blockbusters. The longest shot is 3.5 seconds long or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because there is no real respect for the audience today. Today, I think that it's mostly regarded as kind of opium for the eyes.
I hosted a press conference with Francis Ford Coppola this morning, and of course, you know, somebody puts up their hand and says, "So, when will you and Sophia collaborate together on The Godfather 4?"
Oh, yeah.
And he said, "Listen, I don't understand why people think that they like this first story, why they need 2, 3, and 4." He goes, "I have no more interest in doing another gangster picture than I do in that glass of water, even though I'm thirsty right now."
That's very
He was
interesting.
amazing, yeah.
He's a lovely guy.
Boy, is he ever. I just fell in love with him today.
Yeah, what'd you think of me?
Well, listen, I'm a little overawed right now. I have to tell you, I've watched your movies, I've studied your movies. I have to tell you, this was exciting for me, having you in here.
Thanks, it was a great pleasure.
Remember to follow us on Twitter at Red Carpet Diary and like us on Facebook to keep up with all the comings and goings right here at the Panasonic Studio at the Toronto International Film Festival.